What is that?
Larynx has been crushed.
Yeah, it looks it. Must have been pretty strong, whoever he was. No other bruises?
Don't seem to be.
No rips, no tears, eh? Looks like she didn't object to what was going on before. Let me know when you've got another report, will you, Bernie?
Right.
Okay, that's C-O-R-D. Cord, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, Harry Cord.
So what happened, Harry?
I was walking outside with my girlfriend. We were coming home from the movies, and I heard this scream. You knew something was going on, something terrible, so I tried to get through the front door, and it was locked. So I climbed up the building. And then this Air Force guy...
Wait a minute. An Air Force guy? He had a uniform on?
Yeah.
Well, what was he, an airman, non-com, what?
So, I don't know for sure. I just saw he had his hands around her throat, so I went through the window and ran at him, and he hit me. Next thing I knew, this man here was waking me up.
But you don't remember what rank he had?
No, an officer maybe. I don't remember any stripes.
What about his face? Anything that would give us a description?
No, nothing good. I'm pretty sure he had blonde hair.
How big?
I don't know. It's too big for me, I guess.
Well, you took a real chance. You know that, don't you, son?
Maybe. I couldn't just let somebody kill somebody. If I'd just been a little quicker.
Steve, how about the girl who made the call?
No, that was his girlfriend. Their stories check.
We appreciate anything you can tell us, Mr. Danielson.
Sure, Lieutenant. No problem. No problem at all. Is that her?
Yeah, Gail Kramer.
Oh, no.
You do know her?
Well, not by name, no, but sure I remember her. Who wouldn't? She's a classy kind of lady. Been in here lots of times. Drank, whiskey sours, yeah.
What about last night?
Yeah, she sat right over there.
Was she alone?
Inspector, that kind of woman is never alone. No, she was with some dude.
Air Force?
Could be. A lot of those guys come in here.
I remember him. He was an officer, I think. He had those ribbons. You know what I mean, DC something.
That's DFC, honey. She's new here.
What did he look like?
Oh, come on, Lieutenant. Sitting next to a chick like that? Who looks?
But you're sure he was wearing a DFC, huh?
Oh, I'm sure of it, yeah.
Well, if he had one of those, he earned it, believe me. During the Tet Offensive, I was in Way. I'd still be there if it wasn't for those jet jockeys flying over. Any of those guys come into my bar, honest drink.
How about a description?
Oh, 35, 40 maybe.
Hair?
Blonde, I think. About 6 feet, average build, nice looking too.
Remember what rank he had?
I remember he had those eagles.
Oh, that makes him a colonel, full bird. I only made sergeant myself.
That makes 2 of us. Marines.
You're kidding.
Oh, yes, sir, Inspector. They're expecting you. There's the line you follow, and here's the Air Force Office of Special Investigation.
Thank you very much.
I'll get back to you. Hi. Dick Higgins. Mike Stone?
That's right. This is Inspector Keller.
How do you do?
Hello.
The Chief of Special Investigations assigned me to handle our end of the case. Although I must confess I haven't had that much experience working with civilians.
Well, I must confess I haven't had that much experience working with military investigations either. But, I do know what you're thinking.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'll give you every possible cooperation. But I'd be less than honest with you if I didn't tell you up front. I think you're on the wrong track here.
Well, Mr. Higgins, you wouldn't say the uniform makes the man, would you?
No. All the uniform does is make a different quality of life. We're as human as the next guy. But that same uniform can be worn by people who are not in the service, and I'm betting that's what's happened here.
Impersonating an officer.
Right. If it's one of those guys, I want him as bad as you do. Now, since you called, I sent out a directive to all military police in the San Francisco area, requesting specific ID checks on all Air Force officers. Excuse me. You. Good. The computer's ready. We'll run your information through our national index. Give this man the information you have and he'll punch it in.
The man right here?
Right here.
Hello. The man's between 30 and 45 years of age. He's 6 feet, blonde hair, 180 to 190 pounds, full colonel. He's got the DFC.
Is that all, sir?
Yeah.
From officers of that rank, we'll have only a few names, I'm sure.
Okay. Baby will do the rest. Now we've got to know their whereabouts at the night of the murder.
Computer can't help us there, sir.
Well, I'd like a list of those names. From now on, legwork.
2 men stationed at McClellan. Peter Johnson, Carl Abel. Both colonels, both master descriptions.
And both these guys were off the base at the time of the murder.
They were.
Yeah, I want to talk to them.
Not just yet.
Well, now, wait a minute.
Yeah, I know. I promise full cooperation, you're going to get it. But hear me out first, okay?
Okay.
These are not ordinary men. Peter Johnson, an ace in Korea, 22. Shot down and wounded in Nam. Abel, the same thing. A POW for 5 years. I think you can see why I don't want them dragged in for questioning like any common criminal might.
Yeah, I can see that. But I think you ought to know what we came up with, too.
All right.
We put our own computer to work, and it came up with something that, well, looks like a small epidemic. Take a look at those. All attractive, all about the same age, and all killed the same way. Strangled by an unknown assailant.
All here in San Francisco?
No, one in San Francisco, the other in Oakland, the third was down the peninsula.
And the kicker is the girl from Oakland was seen going out twice with a guy in uniform.
Air Force?
Mm-hmm. Full colonel. And a friend of hers says that she's positive the guy was stationed at your base.
But no name.
No prints either in all 3 of the cases.
Well, then there's nothing positive to point directly to either of these 2 men.
Not yet. But I'm still going to want a complete profile on both of them.
You'll get it. Oh, and Mike, as I said before, it could be that someone from the base is the man. But if it's either of these 2, let's make sure which one and spare the other. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Yeah, it could be.
Which one?
Huh?
Could be which one?
Oh, either one of them. They look like brothers, don't they? Listen, you want me to keep these pictures here, show them to the girl when she comes out?
No. We'd like to hold on to them for a little while longer, but we would appreciate it if you kept this confidential.
Sure, Lieutenant, I understand.
Well, now what?
I don't know. I just don't know. All the leads have been checked out. All dead ends.
If it's at all possible, I just assume you wouldn't talk to these two men directly, gentlemen.
Well, what if I did it indirectly? Well, you know, I did air ROTC at Berkeley. Got a few hours in a T-33. I could at least talk their game.
That's right, you did. I think it's a good idea, sure.
Sure. Sure what? Put you in uniform?
Well, you said yourself the uniform doesn't make the man. At least this way I could check out Johnson and Abel without having to put him through the ringer.
I don't know.
Well, who would know?
I have to check it out with the base commander, Mike.
Colonel Johnson? Yes. Stephen Keller, Auditor General's office. I'm sorry, your office didn't notify you?
No, they didn't. You have any ID, Captain?
Yes, sir.
Auditor General's office?
Yes, I'm afraid your special project's being audited. See, Congress has gotten kind of tight since the C5A project, and our investigations, well, they help finance the good ones and weed out the bad ones.
Okay, if you want to talk, make it lunch at the officers' club. Say 1,300 hours.
Yes, sir. Colonel Abel?
That's right.
Hi, Stephen Keller, Auditor General's office.
Oh, yeah, they told me you'd be out here. What can I do for you, Keller?
Well, sir, you're gonna have to bear with me for a while. I got a lot of questions and a lot of paperwork. Now, you are Projects Commander of AQS 314?
That's right.
Seems to have an awful high price tag, so what exactly does it involve?
Well, without going into classified information, it's simply a fire control system for COIN-type aircraft. COIN being counterinsurgency or guerrilla-style warfare. That kind of action, we need some way to direct fire at low level and high speed against truck convoys, barges on rivers. AQS 314 controls both target approach and aircraft weapon systems. It'll save a lot of lives.
And all of AQS 314 is right in here.
Most of it. See, the cost is in the electronics. Most people don't know that the instrument panel and even the civilian light aircraft cost as much or more than the rest of the aircraft. Okay. Thanks a lot, Harry. Listen, I gotta take my run. Drop by the office later, I'll show you a mock-up for the system.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Talk about money, Congress, and appropriations. That doesn't interest me. What I care about is the lifespan of a pilot in combat. That's my responsibility, training. The more a man flies, the better he gets. If we get cut off from fuel allocations, airspace requests, even spare parts, and then our readiness as a nation diminishes.
I'll have a club sandwich, please.
Make that two.
But you don't know if it'll ever be needed.
No, nobody knows the answer to that one. Without a high state of readiness, we'll have problems. It's like Cuba when the Russians wanted to move in. Let's face it, we're just like cops. Expensive, useless, sometimes even hated. Until we're needed. I see you have the Vietnam Service Medal. Where were you?
Da Nang.
When was that?
66, 67.
And when all hell broke loose?
Yeah.
What unit?
Well, it was a combat support unit.
Support? I thought they were in Ton Sen Nut. What were you doing in Da Nang?
Well, I bounced around a lot, you know. Have adding machine will travel.
You spent any time in a jet?
Some, yeah.
What was that group you were with, the 22nd, 31st?
No, it was the 22nd, 37th. Thank you.
Well, listen, you want to learn more about the gunnery program? There's only one way. Not exactly an adding machine, is it? Bird burns kerosene, lots of it. But you know, it's worth it, because it can do anything. Let's say we got an intercept, an unknown aircraft at 35,000 feet. One of the reasons pilots need practice is so they can withstand G-forces. Like any other training. If they're not used to it, it can hurt them. Captain, you get the aircraft.
No, thanks.
You said you flown some. All right, it's all yours.
Johnson, you take it.
Got it. Okay, Keller, who are you? I called a friend of mine in the Pentagon. You were never in the 22nd, 37th. You were never in Da Nang. As a matter of fact, you don't exist. So what's the story, Keller?
I'm telling you, just get me on the ground, please, now.
I call it dirty pool.
Would you rather get hit between the eyes with suspicion of murder? Have the burden of proof fall upon yourself?
No.
And you have to understand our responsibility here, Colonel. First, we have to stop the man who did the killing. Second, we have to help him. He's sick. He's in bad shape.
Okay. But like I said, I was in Lake Tahoe with a close friend. She'll vouch for it.
We'll check it out. In the meantime, the commander wants you to stay on the base. All right. And continue to cooperate with Keller, huh?
Sure. Anytime he wants to go flying, all he has to do is say the word.
The film is ready, sir.
All right. Dr. Bryce here?
Yes, sir. He's waiting.
All right, thank you.
The film is ready. Are you ready? I thought you took IROTC. Huh?
Frank's a psychiatrist, specializing in problems encountered by men in the military. So I asked him to run down this film for us. Okay, what'd you find out, Frank? Anything interesting?
Well, I've already looked at the film in its entirety twice, and it's all very interesting from a documentary point of view, but this point at the end might turn out to be very interesting.
Now, you say this is from a debriefing session, Doctor?
Yes, 2 years ago. All POWs were debriefed on their return, and those sessions were taped. All right, now this is Abel.
Got pretty rough sometimes. I mean, I'm not complaining, but it did. Men died in the camp from what they did to us. If you sat there and thought about it, you'd go insane.
why no one was coming to help, why the world was made out of inhumanity. Fear. That's what would get you. Anyway, as time went on, I think it was at the end of the first year.
You were a prisoner for how long?
5 years. Anyway, you'd find that you'd develop what we'd call the switch.
The switch?
Yes. When you started to think about everything, you threw the switch and you wouldn't think about it anymore. You couldn't. It was like electricity, on or off. For me, it was a green field with a few flowers. I mean, I could almost smell it. And then I'd see Maggie. Oh, I'd reach out and touch her hair. And she would say, "Welcome home." And I'd lie beside her in the grass, and she'd lean over me. Nothing could get through that. Nothing. I mean, I don't care what they did to me. Thanks to Maggie. Couldn't have done it without her.
And you'd say that this switch was one of the keys to your survival?
Oh, absolutely. Well, we all had it in one form or another. I mean, if they didn't last.
I've looked over his record very carefully. Now, 3 days after this interview was taped, he was found fit and released from the hospital to return to his wife. Her welcome home to him was to serve him with divorce papers. And he lives alone now in the BOQ. She married a doctor, someone she fell in love with when he was a POW.
Doctor, if he developed a switch he could turn off and on at will, could he have killed those girls without remembering it? Not even being conscious of it?
Well, it's highly improbable, but yes, it's possible.
Because of what she did?
Possibly.
Where's she now?
North Carolina.
Well, why didn't he try to kill her there?
Well, maybe he couldn't. He loved her.
He hated her for what she stood for, what she did to him.
Perhaps.
What triggered the switch? What set it off?
Stop it. Listen to yourselves. You're making him sound like Jack the Ripper. He's a hero.
He's a man, Dick. A man who's survived 5 years in a prison camp. A man who's been wounded. All right, so there are no wounds that you can see. Nothing that says he's a cripple. But the scars he may have could be worse than losing an arm or a leg.
May have. We don't know one thing for sure.
Well, we do know that it can't be Colonel Johnson who killed those women because his Lake Tahoe story checks out. And we know that all the ID checks in the city haven't shown up anybody who impersonates a Air Force colonel. And as the doctor here said, we know that Abel has gone through more hell than any of us can imagine. Now, I don't want to bring him in here and rake him over the coals. I don't want to do that at all. But I want to know where he is and what he's doing every waking minute.
Mind if I sit down?
Well, seems to me I have two choices. I could say no and sit here and stare at my drink for an hour alone. Or I could say yes.
I'm an expert on dilemmas. Let's flip for it.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Let's flip. Heads or tails?
Heads.
Jim? You win.
You didn't even look at it.
I would have lied anyway.
Hey, Colonel.
Hi. A couple of drinks.
Sure. You two know each other?
No, we just met.
Oh, this is Major Harrington's wife, Dan Harrington? Isn't this tour just about over?
I don't really know, Jim. A little drier this time around, okay?
Yeah.
And it's Marcia. How about you, Colonel? Do you have a name?
Yeah.
Mike, he's not on the base.
What? Well, how did that happen? You were supposed to get with him.
I don't know. I guess he left early. I tried to track him down, but he left already.
Higgins didn't get anybody on him?
Well, he's got people set up for tomorrow.
Tomorrow? That doesn't help us today, does it? Tomorrow. All right. Okay, just a minute now. Listen, make sure they get a check-in time on Abel, will you?
Right.
Let's hope we don't need it.
Lieutenant, the lady in the chair is a sister. She came by about 10 o'clock to pick up a victim. Apparently, this one lives alone.
Maggie Abel.
No, sir. Marcia Harrington.
Marcia Harrington. That's right. Yeah, I know. I was just thinking out loud. She died between 9 and 10.
Able to return to the base at 23:20.
11:20. That's just about right.
That still could be a coincidence.
All right. Take a look at these. There's a picture of the latest victim, and here's a picture of Abel's wife.
All right. They look alike, so?
So another coincidence?
It could be.
It could be that Abel came back to the base at 11:20. I know that. It could be. But there could be another coincidence, you know. I just got through checking the files again. Marcia Harrington is a military wife. And like all the other victims, she left her husband when he was overseas. Just like Abel's wife did. Now, that could be a coincidence to you. But to me, it's a pattern for murder.
What do you want me to do?
You remember nothing?
I remember meeting her at the Graf Zeppelin. I didn't go out with her. At least I don't think I did. Well, you know how it is, Keller. It's pretty stoned. Or is it Keller?
Same name, Colonel, just a different ID.
Cop?
Yes, I work with Lieutenant Stone.
You've been working on me. Higgins?
I don't have all the answers either, Colonel. It could be the answer is locked up inside you.
What are you telling me? I'm some kind of a Jekyll and Hyde? Now, what's wrong with me? What have I done?
Colonel, I think there's only one way to get the answers we all need.
What's that?
I'd like to give you an injection of pentothal. We use it sometimes in accident cases. It helps the mind sort out things that happen too fast for the memory, or which the memory is trying to erase for some reason.
You're telling me I'm crazy?
No. No, just wounded from the time you were in prison. A wound we couldn't know about till now.
And I do things without knowing it.
Possible.
All right, let's go. I loved her. She was with someone else. Why? Why, Maggie? Why couldn't you feel the same way as I do? If I could create you the way I wanted you, that should have been enough for you, too. What is it about women that can't continue without constant reassurance? Who gave us reassurance? For 5 years, we heard nothing. I heard nothing. Had nothing. But it didn't change me. Huh?
It did change you, Carl. It changed you. You killed Maggie.
Love Maggie.
But you put your hands around her throat and you...
No, I couldn't. I loved her.
Do you know another woman? Marcia Harrington?
It's like Maggie.
Yes, that's right.
Maggie.
You loved her, too. And you killed her. But you went out with her. Don't you remember?
She left me like Maggie. She left and I drank. Drank to forget. I could never love anybody else. Ever.
So, if it's not Abel, it's not Johnson, what do we have?
Well, maybe you win that bet after all.
An imposter?
Looks like that's the only way we've got to go.
Oh, wait a minute, we got one more thing.
What's that?
Those matchbooks from the Graf Zeppelin. The last 2 victims were there just before they were killed.
But we don't know about the other 3, do we?
Well, let's talk to the bartender.
Good idea.
Yeah, Colonel. Just like new. Let me look. Yeah, they got it out. Policy Eagles, too. Blood stains are tough, though. Me, I always dress after I shave. So, where you off to now?
Middle East.
Excuse me, sir.
Something wrong, Sergeant?
Is that your uniform?
This? No, belongs to a friend of mine. Why?
Is your friend stationed at McClellan?
Yeah, that's right.
And he has his cleaning done here?
Yeah?
Better check him out. May I see some identification, please?
Sure, no problem. Would a driver's license be okay?
Don't move! That's our man. But give me your gun. You call it in, I'm going after it.
No, not any of them, but then, like I said, I've only been here 3 weeks.
This one. I'm sure I've seen her.
Anybody with her?
No one in particular. But she used to come in here when I was managing at night.
What about the other two?
No, I don't remember them.
Maybe Jim will. He's got an eye for the girls, especially the married ones.
Does she mean your bartender, Danielson?
Yes.
Is he here now?
No, it's his day off.
I wonder if we could have his home address.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's in my office.
It's for you, Lieutenant. It's Mr. Higgins.
Yeah.
Judy, about Danielson, what do you mean, especially the married ones?
Oh, nothing, I guess.
What, do you have some kind of hang-up or what?
Well, you always seem to like the retreads. I mean, if she wore a ring and had any interest in planes, that was it. He'd come unglued.
Steve, AP's just stopped a guy carrying a colonel's uniform.
Danielson.
How did you know?
Lady just told me he goes bongos over airmen's wives. So they got him?
No, he ran away. They got a positive ID from the cleaners, and they got a make on his car, a kind of a light blue convertible. Listen, get back to the base, will you? Talk to the APs. And I'll wait for his address. Go to his home. I'm Lieutenant Stone, San Francisco Police Department.
Yes.
Is Jim home?
No, he isn't. Is something wrong?
No, I talked to him before at the place where he works. I wanted to ask him a few more questions, that's all.
Oh, I see. Well, he just went into town to run some errands. He ought to be back straight away. Would you care to wait?
Thank you.
Could I get you some coffee, Lieutenant?
No.
I've got some perking.
No, thanks.
These questions that you mentioned that you wanted to ask Jimmy, maybe, well, would there be any of them that I might be able to help you with?
Well, I don't know. It's about an officer, an Air Force officer, a colonel. And I thought maybe that your son would have known him when he was in the service.
Well, now, you see, there's a couple of things I can help you with already.
How's that?
Well, number one, Jimmy's not my son. He's my nephew. And number two, he's never been in the service.
Well, I understood he was in the Air Force.
Oh, no, you got some wrong information there. His father, George, now that's my brother. He was a flyer.
You say your brother is in the service. What is he now, a colonel maybe?
No, my brother's dead.
I'm sorry.
Well, it was a sorry thing. A man goes off and risks his life like that and spends all that time in a prison camp. And then he comes back and he's treated like dirt. I have some pictures. Would you like to see some?
Yes, I would.
All right, would you come this way? You know, I don't know what's become of Jimmy. He should be back by now. Now, there's George.
Uh-huh, yes. Excuse me, I wasn't following. You said that the people didn't treat him too well.
His wife. While he was in that jungle prison, she was in half the hotel rooms in the city. Broke his heart when he found out about that.
Yeah, I can imagine. Say, that's quite a plane there.
Oh, that's Jimmy's. He keeps it over here at Redden Field. Oh, he's so proud of that.
He flies too, eh?
Oh, my goodness, yes, every chance he gets. He takes that little old plane up to Reno. He has a cabin up there, and he flies over those mountains all the time. He says he's as good a flyer as his dad ever was, even though he never got a chance to prove it.
I'll bet Jim was pretty close to his father then.
No, they were never close. They never got the chance to be. Well, my brother was never the same after what she did to him.
Oh, and what about her? Where is she now?
Well, she left George as soon as he got back. And I don't know where she went. I don't care, Lieutenant. I just hope she got what she deserved.
Does Jim feel that way about her, too?
Well, how else could he feel? She deserted him, too, didn't she?
Suspect now headed north on Lincoln Avenue, approaching La Paz. Request backup units. Intercept if possible.
Inspectors 8-1 to headquarters. I'm right on Central 2's tail. I believe suspect is heading for Redden Field. Has a plane there. Alert airfield to prevent him from taking off.
Hey, you know that guy, Danielson?
With the biplane?
Yeah, we just got a message. The police want him. If he puts in for takeoff, don't clear him.
Charlie Fox, 408, Red Tower calling. Come in, please. Charlie Fox, this is Redden Tower. Charlie Fox, 408. Come in, please.
I'm Lieutenant Stone, San Francisco Police. Fella, any reason?
No, sir, he's not responding.
Well, how about tracking him?
We don't have radar.
Can you get me McClellan Air Base?
Higgins. How long ago?
Just now. Listen, he's flying one of those Those two winged planes, you know? Can you track them?
I can do better than that. Hold on.
Is that Mike?
Yeah, our man just took off from Redden Field. This is Higgins, OSI. Give me base ops, emergency. Hurry it up.
Charlie Fox, do you read? Red Tower to Charlie Fox. Come in. Charlie Fox, 408.
Say, do you mind if I try?
Go ahead.
CF 408. This is Lieutenant Stone, San Francisco Police. CF 408. If you can hear me, this is Lieutenant Stone, San Francisco Police. Danielson, if you can hear me, think this over, will you? You need help, son. Bring the plane in. You can't escape. Danielson, do you hear me? Danielson, maybe you couldn't help what you did, but we know we can help you.
Delta 1 to control. I have CF 408 in sight. I'm leaving 40 for 20.
Roger, Delta 1.
Is there any way we can talk to him?
Yeah. You're on, Inspector.
Danielson, this is Inspector Keller.
Danielson, can you hear me? This is Inspector Keller.
Steve, Mike, do you have him?
We got him in sight, Mike.
Yeah, he can hear us all right. He's ducking down on the radar.
Johnson, can you keep him in sight?
I'll try, but in that little pocket he can fly us dizzy down there.
We lost him.
Steve, what happened?
He ducked into a canyon, Mike. We can't find him.
Which way's he headed?
I don't know. I'm going to turn around up here myself, Mike. I don't know.
This is Colonel Johnson, Lieutenant. I read 40 degrees toward Reno.
Colonel Johnson, you said toward Reno, huh?
Roger.
Are you sure he's listening to us?
Yeah, he hears us all right.
All right, Danielson, if you listen to me, you just listen good. We know about your cabin in Reno. You'll have the police there waiting for you when you get there. So just forget it.
You forget it, Lieutenant. I can outfly you all day long. When that sun is gone, so am I. He's about out of canyon. He's got to come up for air sometime. If my time is just right, I think I'd give him some. muddle his bones. See if it changes tune any.
Danielson, this is Inspector Keller. Danielson, do you read me? This is Inspector Keller. He's in trouble. Danielson, pull it out. Pull it out, Danielson, pull it out!
Steve, Mike, what happened?
Delta 1 to rescue. We have a downed aircraft. Location is 140 for 25, channel 106. Repeat, Delta 1 to rescue. We have a downed aircraft.
What happened?
Danielson died on impact.
Yeah, figures. The whole thing disintegrated when it hit.
Strange, isn't it? A guy like Danielson wanted to be a hero all his life, ends up insane. While a guy like Abel, who thinks he might be going insane because of what made him a hero. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't, but I got a little battle fatigue, you know, so let me just get the gear off and I'll drive us home.
Well, did you ever ask yourself why one man's dream is another man's nightmare?
Yes, I've asked myself.
And?
And I'll drive the car home, okay?
What are you talking about? You drive the car home. Listen, haven't you ever heard of RHIP?
What?
RHIP. Rank has its privileges. You're a captain today. Captains don't drive lieutenants. Lieutenants drive captains.
All right. I'm ready.
I said today. Tomorrow's a different story. So enjoy it while you can, my boy. Because tomorrow comes awfully fast.
What?
That should have been the tip-off. Salami. Turn right here, will you? Up on the corner. Best salami in town, right down that block. And you can pick out the kind you like.
Why should I buy your salami?
Because you're going to eat it. Tonight, at my birthday party.
Oh, man, it's supposed to be a surprise.
It still is a surprise. She doesn't know that I know.
I guess that's right.
Move him right here.
All units, liquor store, 100 block 6th Street, 211 in progress.
Hey, we're 2 blocks away. Come on, let's move it.
Oh, sweet Lord. We done it good. We done it good this time.
I'll carry him inside. We gotta get him back on his feet, get moving, you know. There was a cop I hit back there. If he dies, they're gonna be on some fellas on the chicken.
Careful, will you, please?
Hey, whoever heard man dying on his honeymoon, huh? Day or two, he'll be all right. Be as good as new, you'll see.
Well, we can't tell Mortal he's awake.
Why doesn't tell me anything?
Well, we don't know anything. You call Jean?
No, I was waiting till I had something to tell her.
Well, just tell her not to worry.
Tell her not to worry,
Nothing's helping. I don't know what else to do. Gotta get a doctor.
It's a gunshot wound, Jody.
I know what kind of wound it is. Get a doctor.
Doctors have got to report gunshot wounds to the police.
Look, you just get him here, and I'll see to it he don't report nothing to nobody.
What'll I tell him? Well, since the doctor's gonna want to know what's wrong.
Well, then you tell him a lie. You tell him anything, but you just get him here?
Hello?
Yeah, Jeannie, it's Steve.
Hi. I'll give you one quick minute. I've got every burner on the stove going. Just keep them away till 7.
Listen, something's happened now. Not to worry.
Steve, what is it?
Mike got hit by a van. He's got no broken bones, nothing like that, but he's under observation here at County Hospital.
I'll be there as fast as I can.
Wait a minute. Dr. Reynolds with him right now, Jeannie. It's all right.
I'll be there.
Jody?
Yes, Jim.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
What happened?
You got shot.
Sure does take your breath away.
You're gonna be all right.
Where are we?
Back home?
Tennessee?
San Francisco?
I remember we got married day 4 yesterday.
23 weeks ago.
My, how time flies when you're having fun. That's what my mama always used to say. My, how time flies when you're having fun. I'm tired, honey. I'm so tired. How much we get?
$1,200?
That's enough. We can go home now.
Sorry, Jim. Sorry I got you into this.
Everything worked just like you said it would, didn't it? We got the money, didn't we?
Yeah, we got the money. We can go home in style now.
Oh, come on, Doc. It's nothing but a bump on the head.
Well, we're going to have to keep you under observation till morning.
What are you mumbling about?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I heard you.
Come on now. Back down. Come on.
Oh. Yeah, I haven't had a head like this since I can't remember when.
I tried 3 doctors and none of them would come. I told them I had a friend who fell down a flight of stairs and was dying. And they just said, call an ambulance, get him to a hospital. It was like they didn't even care.
It's all right, Rudy. He's dead.
sorry, baby.
Gotta bury him.
Where?
The crawl space under the stairs.
Now, we gotta get out of this town. That's what we gotta do. And that cop I hit is in the county hospital. He's a police lieutenant. I heard it on the radio. If he dies, they're gonna close this town up tighter and...
Yeah, but we gotta bury him. Now, please, Rudy, please don't make me leave him like that.
Now, listen. Okay, I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it, okay?
Rudy? Do you hear what the name of that cop was?
Stone or something like that. Why?
I was wondering who it was killed Jeff. Yes, operator. Like the number, please, at the county hospital. Thank you. Hello. Yes, you can. I guess I'd like emergency, please. Well, you see, I heard on the radio that a friend of mine was hurt. Lieutenant Stone. Yes, and I was hoping maybe you could tell me if he was all right. I'm so glad. Can I talk to him? How would I send him something? I see. Yeah, thank you. Oh, wait, if I want to call back, what room do I ask for? 266. Thank you. Thank you very much.
But that is not the point, and you know it.
Then what is?
Look, all the doctor wants you to do is just take it easy for a couple of days.
All right. I took a snooze for a couple of hours. Now I want to go home.
Mike, what harm is spending the night here going to do? At least you can sleep.
Sleep on this bed? Lie down. Go ahead, try it. A sack full of rocks. Look, get the doc. I am going home.
All right, okay. If that's what you want to do, I'll give it a try. He wants to go home.
This isn't a prison, Gene. I can't keep him here against his will.
But what if he gets sick during the night?
Just watch him. If you notice any signs of confusion, dizziness, the headaches get worse, just give me a call. I don't care what time it is. Nurse, we're releasing 266. Would you get me a wheelchair, please? This is a release form. If you had the sense you were born with, you wouldn't even ask me to sign it. But you don't, so that is that. Happy birthday.
That's the best present I've gotten all day. Now if someone will just get my hat.
Hold it. Wheelchair.
Wheelchair? What are you talking about, wheelchair? I was walking. You saw me
Hospital
walk.
rules. Once you're out of here, you can hop, skip, and jump.
And you better not while I'm around.
Nurse?
girl's going to pot in a basket. Nurse!
When I get home, I want you ready to go back to school, understand?
Yes, sir. Anything you say, sir.
What?
I said I'll make a deal with you. You stay home today, and I'll go back to school tomorrow.
Well, I've got a job to do.
Well, so do I, taking care of you. Look, even Iron Mike needs a day off now and then.
What about next July when the fish are biting?
You see?
Oh, I just got up too fast.
Jody, now we've done all we can do for him. We buried him. We said all the words. There's nothing else we can do. It's time we thought of ourselves.
I'm not just running out and leaving him.
He's dead, baby.
And don't call me baby. I've been a woman, and then a wife, and now a widow, and that's all in the same month. I'm still on my honeymoon.
Sis, it's over.
No. See, it's not going to be over till that cop's dead.
Boy, now that is dumb. That is really dumb.
Maybe so, but my mind's made up.
You don't even know what he looks like.
I know where he works. I can go find out.
I wish we never come here. I just wish...
It was my idea, not yours.
Oh, come on now. Don't start blaming yourself. Me and Jeff, we knew what we was doing.
Yeah, I bet you did. Was it your idea to get a house you couldn't afford? Get some nice clothes, this trip west? Was it?
I'm going to ditch that van so nobody can trace it back to us. Then I'm going to come back here and pack up. And then I'm cutting out. I'm warning you. Whether you're here or not, I'm leaving.
Take care of yourself, Rudy.
Maybe he didn't even see the car.
I don't think he heard that car coming, Steve. He didn't hear half of what I said to him this morning.
Okay, I'll keep an eye on him.
Well, if you need me.
I'll call you, yeah. I'll see you later, Jane. Bye.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm late.
Good morning. That owner of that liquor store died about midnight. Never regained consciousness. The description of that van I think you matches the one that was stolen in Monterey. I got an APB out on it now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sounds like the same one. Did you get out an APB?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What about the owner of the liquor store?
He died about midnight. You sure you're all right?
Oh, yeah. That cloud on my head left some cotton in my ear. It'll clear up.
Why don't you take the rest of the day off?
Are you kidding? I've done this job when I was sick, when I had a temperature, when it felt as though someone had my head in a vice. Don't worry, it'll pass by noon. Now, what else?
Are you looking for someone?
Well, I guess, officer, I would like to report someone missing.
Oh, you want missing persons?
Ain't that what this is?
Uh-uh. You made a wrong turn. It's the office across the hall. Big sign.
Well, I guess that don't make me too smart, does it?
Well, we all make mistakes. Do you know where you're going now?
Yes, sir, I do. I know just where I'm going.
Hey, Devane, wasn't that the van we're supposed to be looking for?
73, 74 van, beige with black and red stripes.
Let's check it out.
Homicide Stone. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Give me that again. It's the van. How many passengers? Tell them to maintain surveillance. We're on our way.
Car 3 Boy 9 to Inspectors 8-1. You there, Mike?
What's he saying? Turn that thing up, will you?
Yeah, we reach you, 3 Boy 9.
Suspect just turned off Columbus on Greenwich, proceeding west.
We're on our way. Okay, take a right on 3rd.
Which way?
Right. Right!
Turn that damn thing up!
It was up all the way!
He spotted us headed west on Greenwich near Market.
Okay, 3 Boy 9.
What's wrong with you, huh? Did you hear me yelling at you? Don't you hear anything?
He almost killed you.
He had the beat on you. He could have killed you.
You almost bought it because I couldn't tell where he was. I couldn't tell where the sounds were coming from.
It's okay, Mike.
No, it's not okay. I gotta stop kidding myself. No, there's something wrong with me. I gotta find out what it is.
All right, now I'm going to present the same tones to your right ear. Whenever you hear the tones, raise your hand. Ossicular discontinuity, which is consistent with the otologist's findings.
Well, now, that's great, but what would you call it down at the corner saloon?
You've lost the hearing in your right ear. And to have any perspective on sound, how far away it is, from what direction it's coming from, well, your brain needs the stereo effect of both ears.
On one side, I'm deaf, is that it?
Oh, yes. See, the accident dislodged the 3 small bones in your middle ear, which transmit sound.
Well, how do you lodge them back in again?
An operation.
Well, when do we start?
Well, that's up to your doctor. Well, you might want another audiological examination.
No, Reynolds said you were the best, so what have I got to lose?
You have still got 1 good ear.
You need 2 to be a cop.
What's the matter with a desk job?
Now stop beating about the bush. What is it you want to say?
Your right ear has suffered a traumatic shock. Now, you may regain some hearing in time. On the other hand, if you decide on the operation, it is not successful, you may have a permanent hearing loss in that ear. What we call a dead ear. Totally deaf.
What you're saying is that I could buy my own pension.
Are you still so eager for that operation?
No, I'll have to think that over.
Miss Dixon?
Just a minute.
Miss Dixon?
Just, all right, come on in. I don't think I've left anything.
You owe 25 even. That's
Oh.
for the cleaning fee.
I forgot him. Sorry my husband didn't pay you before.
If you come next door, I'll write your receipt.
I don't think I need one.
Any forwarding address?
What you want one for?
In case you get any mail or that young fellow with the van comes back.
No, he won't be coming back. Bye.
Yeah, it'd be good for you to get away for a couple of weeks, you know? Get a rest.
Yeah, sit out in the sun, get myself a tan. You know, I might even drive up to the mountains, do a little fishing.
Yeah, you take it easy. I'll take care of all of it here.
Not all of it. Just your share for a change. Tanner's going to be working with you till I get back. Oh, wait a minute. Can't forget this.
Want me to drive you home?
No, thanks. Jeannie's waiting for me downstairs. Well, I'll see you, Smiley.
Mike. Send me a postcard.
Drive me over to the Mission Station House. There's somebody I want to talk to.
Dave Paxton?
Yeah, you don't have to wait.
Oh, I don't mind.
Look, I can find my way home. I may be half deaf, but I'm not half dumb. I'll see you at home. Place still smells the same.
Ah, you get used to that.
Yeah, I guess you can get used to almost anything.
Mike, you don't have to yell. I'm wired for sound and for silence. Come on, I'll buy you some coffee. You'd be surprised how great it makes you feel to have the power to turn a knob and shut out the world. Sit down. So, what are you doing here?
Well, I've been thinking about you, and I just thought I'd stop by and see my old partner.
I heard about your accident.
Then you know why I'm here.
Next thing you're gonna do is ask me if I'm happy, huh?
Stupid question, right?
Mike, that gun going off next to my ear is the greatest thing that ever happened. No more getting involved with family quarrels. No more high-speed chases in the rain. No more cops and robbers.
You got it made, huh?
Yeah. You, gonna buy an operation?
Wait a minute. Why didn't you?
I'm a fatalist. If anything can go wrong, it will. Look, I still got one good ear. I got a job that's gonna see me through to retirement. Force takes care of its own, Mike. Come on in out of the rain. We'll find a desk for you here.
Got something on that kid driving the van.
Right.
Rudy Nolan. Records in Tennessee and Kentucky.
What about the bloodstains in that van?
Type O. Nolan was type A.
Type O. Could be Dixon.
Who?
The gun Nolan was carrying was purchased by a Jeff Dixon in Nevada. Why'd you see if Dixon's got a record and he and Nolan ever worked together as a team?
Right.
Yeah, Homicide Inspector Keller.
What are you doing in my office? Taking over?
Always trying, Mike. Always trying. How you doing?
Fine, fine. I just thought I'd check in. Any new leads?
Yeah, we got a couple here, a couple of names. A Rudy Nolan and a Jeff Dixon. Nolan, he's got a record in the South, a little stuff. And Dixon, he purchased the gun in Nevada. Now, robbery tells me it's the same one used in 3 holdups in California, same M.O.
Well, what about the third man?
Nothing yet, no.
Say, maybe I ought to come in just sort of give a helping hand.
Thought you were supposed to be taking a vacation.
I know. I just thought...
We can handle it, Mike.
Sure. Sure you will. Well, at least you know where to find me.
I'll see you.
Feel like a game of cribbage?
Not now.
Oh, I picked up some sports magazines at the store for you this morning. Maybe you'll have time to do more than just look at the pictures, huh?
Maybe later.
Well, how about some TV? There's a
You
good
know what
Western...
I'd like?
Name it.
I'd like it if you went back to school where you belong.
I'm a pest, huh?
That's right, a pest. Beautiful like your mother, but a pest. I'm going for a walk.
Oh, okay.
Alone.
Don't be late for lunch. His whole life's wrapped up in that damn office. You take that away from him, and what does he have?
He's got you.
That's why I called. I don't know how to help him, Steve. He's scared. Well, not about the operation, but what comes later. You know, he's never even joked about retiring.
Hey, Jeannie, come on. He's gonna pull through. It's you I'm worried about.
Me?
Yeah, you're such, you're such a good nurse. You know he hates that.
Oh, hell.
Hell. Is that kind of language coming out of you?
The only kind you dumb cops ever understand. Look, I'm not trying to baby my own father.
Good. And everything's gonna be okay. We can have dinner.
What?
Well, you still got the birthday cake, right? I'll bring some ice cream. We'll surprise him and have a party.
Okay. Be here at 7?
All right. Jeannie, don't worry about Mike. However the operation turns out, he's gonna be okay. I'll see you.
I tell you, it's right there in the ballistics report. The same gun that was used on me killed the owner of that
I saw the
liquor
report,
store.
Mike. I know.
I tell you what I want
No,
you to
I'll
do.
tell you. I'm going to put a 24-hour guard on you.
A what?
That's right, a 24-hour guard, and Drake here's going to run the first shift.
I don't need a guard.
Drake, he's your responsibility. You're going to have to see that he gets home, and you're going to have to keep an eye on him.
Okay, Lieutenant?
Drake, I said it's okay. It's okay.
When you take over, you really take over, don't you?
Drake, get him out of here, will you?
All smiles, huh? Okay, Smiley. When are you going to put your name on my door?
Doctors sure hate to be patients, don't they?
What do you got?
Listen, the lady says she knows that van that was in the papers, and she knows this Rudy Nolan.
Miss Stone? Miss Stone? Yes? Well, it's about your daddy. There's been an accident. What? Where? What happened? Well, see, he was crossing the street and, well, he's been hurt. Oh, no. Well, see, I can take you to him in the car, but see, we gotta hurry. Move over, honey. What do you want?
Just turn on the machine and start driving.
Thanks a lot. Want me to get you a cup of coffee?
No.
Pillow? Blanket?
Mike,
A
I
couple
don't
of magazines,
like this
maybe.
any better than you do, but I've got orders.
Okay. If it gets too lonely down here, coming up, we'll play a game of cards.
Thanks.
You sure there weren't 3 men in here? No, sir. 2 and a woman. It'll take me a week to clean this place up. I left it looking like a pigsty. Stamp. Oh, wouldn't you know it? It's a clean rug, too. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, what is it?
It's blood. One of them got wounded.
Blood. On my good mattress.
Steve?
Yes, we need to get a lab man in here right away.
Oh, we're gonna need more than a lab man. You better get a look at what I just found under the house.
Stone.
Mike, it's me.
Jeannie, I wondered what happened to you.
I'm near the Presidio.
Anything wrong?
The person who shot at you today is here, next to me.
Jeannie, are you all right?
Mike, don't...
Just what I told you.
Jeannie!
Yes, I'm all right. I have a message for you. Do you have a pencil and paper?
Just a moment. All right, honey.
Drive through the Presidio on Lincoln Boulevard. Stop at the gun emplacement. Then look for my beige scarf. There'll be a dirt road. If you come alone, I won't be hurt. I'll be released. If you don't, I'll die. Like Jeff Dixon and Rudy Nolan.
Presidio.
This was in his pocket.
So what about it?
Well, that's the same girl. She was up in homicide yesterday. Said she wanted missing persons, but she was just standing there looking into Mike's office.
That's the one in the red mask. The 81 to headquarters is an emergency. Tell Lieutenant Stone that third person in that liquor store holdup is not a man. It's Jeff Dixon's wife. Dixon's dead and she's trying to kill him.
This is Drake, 10-4. I'm on my way. Mike! It's Bill Drake, Mike! 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 Mike!
What you looking at? You? 2 eyes and a nose, just like everybody else.
That doesn't tell me what kind of person you are, or why you want to kill Mike.
Jeff. He was my husband. All he wanted was a house of his own for us. Except he didn't have the money for it, so I showed him how to get it. Just like I showed Rudy. He was my brother. First thing he ever stole, he stole from me. Some lipstick. $2,000. That's all we needed, and we had it.
For 1 minute in that liquor store, we had it all. But see, then we came out, your daddy was waiting for us. Now I'm the only one left to make this right. See, that's why I'm here. Waiting for him.
I'm here, Mike Stone. All right, I kept my end of the bargain. I'll keep yours.
Daddy, watch out!
Jeannie, are you all right?
Yes! Yes, Mike!
It's Mike! Over there!
Hey, you! Get away from there!
Well, don't just stand there. Say something.
You know,
I
we
got
still
you.
have a whole birthday
Oh,
cake
I
left.
can hear you. Not so loud. I can hear you.
Your ear is going to be sensitive to sound for a few days.
Talk again.
Well, what do you want us to say?
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. You know, she doesn't need a voice to talk. All she needs is a pair of hands.
It's just too bad. I was kind of getting used to your office, you know.
What did you say?
All right, I'm coming. Hours like this, I might as well have gone to med school.
Med school, huh? Going's one thing, getting through's another.
Yeah, right now, all I'm worried about is getting through the day without any breakfast. What are we rushing about anyway?
Harbor Patrol dragged in a boat. Looks like some guy on that boat got careless with a spear gun. They want us to check it out.
A fishing party?
No, he was by himself when they spotted it.
What time was that?
Around 7. Spotted by a Japanese freighter.
Was it inbound or outbound?
In.
Better check to see if anybody on board saw anything else.
The captain's name was Tajima. He said there was another boat or a person near it.
You really know how to make a guy feel like a slow starter, don't you?
Well, what do I need with beauty sleep?
You got a name on the victim?
Marshall. Fred Marshall.
Fred Marshall? You're kidding.
Name mean something?
Well, there may be more than one, but the man I'm thinking of's a bigwig in Washington. I think it's the Department of Commerce. The word is he's being groomed for the next senatorial election. Even the man who's stepping down wants him, Ralph Bowen.
How do you keep up with all that stuff?
Interests me. You got any other info?
He's on a boat. At the dock. Steel shaft through his heart.
That's him. This wasn't an accident.
How come so fast?
Marshall was, he was a water freak. Half the pictures I ever saw, he was either in a boat or standing in a wetsuit with some world's record fish.
Couldn't he make one mistake?
Not like that, no. Though anybody with his experience would never load a spear gun out of the water.
Well, how about another kind? Let's say the people kind.
Well, the papers never sounded like that. You know, he's good-looking, good speaker, married to the right woman. She was always in the fashion page of the newspaper, on television for some good cause.
You got a knife? Here, cut this.
What do you got?
Well, this is all his equipment here. It's all dry.
Well, so's the gun.
Here, shake it. How long does it take for a thing like that to drain?
This has been used today.
Was he in the water, Doc?
No. His hair and his suit is dry.
Probably been wiped from prints, but have the lab take a look at it anyway.
Yes, sir.
We'll also have them lift anything on the ladder here.
Right.
He was from out of town. Say, whose boat was this?
Belongs to Reed Bradshaw.
The shipping guy?
Yes, sir.
Say, didn't you say that Marshall was in commerce?
He is, yeah.
Okay. Let's find out where he was staying and what he was doing here.
Lap of luxury.
Can't get much classier.
So what's so good about being a doctor? Want to get you better places?
The difference is room service with a suite and wander around the lobby here with a hungry stomach. Come on, let's hit the coffee shop before we go here.
You can't afford it.
May I help you, sir?
Yes, would you give this to the manager, please? Sure.
What is it?
Search warrant.
Please keep your hands right where they are.
I beg your pardon.
Lieutenant, this is Boyd Caldwell, Mr. Marshall's administrative assistant. He has the adjoining suite.
Oh, I see. Thank you very much. If we need anything else, we'll let you know.
Fine, fine.
Lieutenant Stone, homicide. Inspector Keller.
Excuse me, but you do know Mr. Marshall is dead?
Yes. The coroner's office asked me to come down to make an identification.
Something in that stack of papers you need to do that?
These are documents to be presented to an investigating subcommittee of the United States Senate.
Really? Huh? Well, then I think they ought to be left right where they are.
Now, wait a minute.
Mr. Caldwell, we have reason to believe that Marshall's death is not an accident.
That's crazy. Of course it was an accident. Why would anyone want to kill Fred Marshall?
Something in that stack of papers, maybe.
Now, look. His death was an accident. And I have to have these papers to prepare for the investigating committee of Senator Bowen.
We need everything to be just the way Mr. Marshall left it. Now, there's a court order on its way to seal this room.
One call to Washington, you'll never get it.
You pick up one more paper, and you're going to be arrested for obstruction of justice.
You have no right to intimidate...
You want to hear all about rights? He'll read them to you. Otherwise, maybe you just ought to go back into your own room.
All right, Lieutenant. But these papers and the rest of Mr. Marshall's personal effects will be flown to Washington with his body, probably this afternoon.
The body remains here. Belongs to the city of San Francisco till after the autopsy.
Autopsy?
That's right.
But now, look, we're not talking about some drunk found dead in an alley. Mr. Marshall was a man of substance, a beloved public servant.
Somebody loved him so much that they drilled him with a spear gun.
I do trust you'll phrase that a little more delicately when you discuss this with Mrs. Marshall.
Well, is she here?
She's on an incoming flight. I'm meeting her at the airport at noon.
While you're out there, don't get any ideas about leaving.
And give you free rein to assassinate the character of a dead man. Not likely.
So what do you think?
Well, I think that the City Hall switchboard is going to be in for a very, very good workout.
Yeah. Look at this.
Huh?
You know that shipbuilder whose boat Marshall was on?
Yeah, Bradshaw?
Yeah. He had a development deal with the government going.
Now, what do you know about contracts?
Just enough to let the DA's office translate them for me.
Okay. Let's get all this stuff over there, have a detail in here for prints. I'll look for Bradshaw, and since you're so interested in politics, why don't you go down to the Federal Building and have a talk with that, what's his name? The senator. What's his name?
Bowen. Ralph Bowen.
I just don't know what to say, Inspector. That young man was so vigorous, so vibrant. That's just hard to accept somehow. And you're investigating. That means you suspect that Fred's death was deliberate?
Well, I understand your office is investigating too, Senator. Do you have any reason to believe it was deliberate?
Well, are you implying that Fred was involved with anything dishonest?
No, sir. No, we don't have any information like that now. But I was hoping I could discuss the nature
I
of your
handpicked that young man to succeed me in the Senate. Do you think I'd put my reputation behind him if I thought he was involved with anything dishonest?
Well, then it wasn't his office that you were investigating.
Well, absolutely not. It was a general investigation into the misuse of public funds, specifically large contracts to industry.
Well, why was it being held in San Francisco?
Well, there's a pilot program going on in this town to create a new kind of merchant ship, one built with new materials and new techniques, a product our technology must create in order to keep pace with low-cost foreign shipyards.
Well, where did Marshall fit in?
Well, the program was administered through his office. He was merely going to give them the department's position on cost-plus contracts with shipbuilders.
Does that include people like Reed Bradshaw?
I'm sorry, Inspector. Now you're getting into confidential matters. A subject for my investigation, not yours.
Marshall was killed on Bradshaw's boat, Senator.
Will you accept some advice, Mr. Keller?
Sure.
Let Fred Marshall rest in peace.
That's exactly the same advice I got from Marshall's assistant.
And with good reason.
I'd like to know them.
Oh, come now. You've seen them all your life. The people love a good smear campaign. They delight in having someone's name dragged through the mud.
And that's the same public that's elected you to Washington all these years, isn't it, Senator? Just seems strange that you, above all people, wouldn't respect their ability to tell the difference between a lie and the truth.
The truth I'm concerned with at the moment, young man, is a threat to an extremely important government program. All I'm saying is that any scandal surrounding the death of Fred Marshall can only destroy the objectivity of the people, no matter how highly we both regard them. Now, you'll have to excuse me. I have a meeting.
Say, where can I find Bradshaw? Excuse me, Mr. Bradshaw?
Yeah.
Wonder if I could see you for a moment? Lieutenant Stone, San Francisco Police.
Be right with you, Lieutenant. You boys see if you can iron this out. I'll be right back. About, Fred Marshall, huh? Something you'd like to know about the boat?
Yes, just a few questions.
Sure. Just thinking. I wasn't down there at all. Been at my elbows in work around here lately. Maybe you'd like to talk to my deckhands.
You keep a crew?
Oh, have to. We got 2 pleasure boats. Let them out to VIPs. You know how it goes. Everybody thinks he's a sailor, right? Booze flows and the boat goes. Snap gets caught in the block at the top of the mast and the prop gets fouled.
Say, excuse me, but I thought that Marshall went out alone.
Well, that's different. Fred was a sailor, you know.
You knew him quite well.
Yeah, but not as well as I'd like to. He was really quite a guy. 1 in 10 million, maybe.
Well, did you know that he went out on the boat this morning?
Yeah, I told him it was his as long as he was in town.
You lent it to him personally?
Comer like that? I made it a point to, Lieutenant. Good for business.
Well, it's rather touchy, isn't it? I mean, dealing with government business like that?
Well, now, Lieutenant, you did say SFPD, didn't you? Not IRS?
Yes, I did. Homicide.
Homicide?
That's right. I wonder if you'd mind giving me the specifics on that government contract. The one that Marshall's office was administering.
You bet I mind. If I'm right about what I think's going on between the lines here,
What's going on is a homicide investigation.
You really like your job, don't you, Lieutenant? Gun on the hip, instant authority. Come to a place like this, collar the head man, roust him a little, give him a 3rd degree. Pretty heady stuff, isn't it?
Look, Mr.
No, you look. Take a look at all this. I laid everything I had on the line to build it from bankrupt corporation to a big money company while you hid behind the city payrolls. The authority I got, I earned. And I'm not about to stand here and listen to a lot of loaded questions. Somebody who's pulling his clot from my taxes. Now, anything else you want from me, you see my attorney. Unless you've got a warrant for my arrest in your pocket.
I don't need a warrant. But if you want to give me your attorney's name, I think it would be wise if he and I had a talk.
I'll do just that.
You see Bradshaw?
Oh, yeah. He's a big shot. Gave me this.
Big shot lawyer.
Yeah, one of the biggest. Get anything from the senator?
Filibuster.
Politics still interest you?
He gave me such a spiel about a general investigation into the misuse of...
Must be the lady.
If that's the price of being a public figure, I want it.
Yeah, the price can get pretty high in a crowd like that.
I got 2 men inside.
You have?
Yeah.
Do you know, I really think you would have made it through medical school. I really do, huh? Come on.
Yes, the hearings will definitely be postponed. And that's all for now, please. Mrs. Marshall just wants to be alone for a while. I'm sure you can understand that.
Where was Mrs. Marshall when she heard about her husband's death?
All right, Hank.
Fellas, come on.
No more
Let's
figures.
will you? Let's move it out. Come on,
No more
move it out.
figures. Get back.
Caldwell,
Can we talk for just a minute
Come
at a
on,
time?
fellas. Give us a break, will you? Move it back. Let's
Police,
go.
miss.
Move
We'd
it
like to
back,
help you get
fellas.
through.
Caldwell, come here. That's it. Let's move it.
Anna?
Oh, Mike. Please take me away from here.
Steve.
Yeah.
Check out the suite.
Thank you for being there, Michael.
I didn't know. It was... Well, you see, I was just... Well, I don't keep up with the society pages. And Ann Marshall was just a name to me.
Well, thank you anyway. I just couldn't. I just couldn't have faced all those people. It's such a shock. It's so awful. Boyd said you don't believe it was an accident.
I don't know anything yet.
But you suspect something?
Let's talk about it later.
No, I'm all right. I want to know.
Anna, please,
No, I have to know.
Yeah, Mike's talking to her right now. Well, I have one man inside the suite, another man in the lobby, but I'd like to get a couple more before he gets back. Right, okay. Could you tell Mike when he comes back I went to the yacht harbor?
Keller, what's going on? Where do they go?
I don't know any more than you do, Caldwell.
Oh, don't give me that. What's it going to take with you guys, anyway? You better think about the league you're playing in.
Murder's the same in any league.
Will you get off that murder kick? You don't have anything that proves murder.
If you want proof, then you back off. Give us room to do our job. Down, please.
Boyd, We've got to talk.
No, it was an accident. A horrible accident.
An accident? A man used to that kind of equipment?
He had a lot on his mind. He was under a great deal of pressure.
What from?
Michael, please. Couldn't we just drop this?
Well, if I did, somebody else would start digging until all the questions were answered.
Well, if I answered your questions. Could you keep it out of the papers and off of the news?
Well, how can you know what happened?
Michael, Fred was in trouble. He was in a great deal of trouble. He'd taken money. It was all under the table, of course, mass contributions to his political campaign. But it totaled $300,000.
Kickback for a government contract.
No. It was unallocated funds from Commerce to make up for overages on a contract. Oh, it was all very complicated. It was very carefully concealed. Until one of Senator Bowen's investigators found out about it anyway.
$300,000 from Bradshaw.
How did you know that?
Just 2 and 2. Your husband was on his boat.
He'd refused 12 times. But he was talked into it finally.
By his assistant, Caldwell.
He kept pressing him. He said he owed it to himself and to his country. He said that money would put him in the Senate, would be a springboard. In 8 years, we'd see him in the White House.
So Bradshaw could have done it?
No. I talked to Fred last night. I was in Los Angeles for a fundraising dinner. He'd been drinking heavily, and he was depressed. He was so depressed. I should have known. I should have realized. He couldn't face it. The disgrace. Bradshaw didn't kill Fred. No one did. He killed himself. I should have been with him. If I had, this never would have happened.
Anna, please. Please, Anna. Don't blame yourself. It wasn't suicide. That much I know.
No, you don't have any proof.
I'll get it.
Michael, release his body. Let him be buried with honor. Couldn't you put it down as an accident? Couldn't you do that for me as a favor?
Anna, I'm sorry. I'm afraid I can't accept favors any more than I can give them.
I don't understand what that means.
Just that I'm a cop.
Oh, I know, Michael, I know. You're just doing the job that you have to do. Well, I think I need a mirror. I think I need a minute to myself.
Told me there isn't any night watchman because of those locked gates. So I thought maybe one of you guys might have seen Marshall.
Sorry, man. We crashed early and we rolled out real late.
Well, does Bradshaw let you sleep on the boats every night?
That's part of the package.
It's a pretty good deal, all right. Pretty good. So what about it, Hunter? You see Marshall last night?
Yeah, okay, he was here.
Alone?
Look, man, we dig the job because we don't have to get involved. You know what I mean?
This is a murder investigation. You know what I mean?
Hey, Skip! Telephone! Thanks. Later.
Yeah. Well, what about it? Was he alone?
We crashed early, and he was gone in the morning when we climbed out.
Yeah. Oh, listen, what's Skip's real name, anyway?
Why?
Well, I need it for my records. You know, they make you type everything now.
Well, he won't like my telling.
He's got one of those weird ones, huh? Yeah, it figures. Anybody with a nickname usually has got something weird on their birth certificate.
Yeah. Yeah, well, his is Newton.
Newton?
Yeah, that's a winner, huh, Newton?
Newton Hunter. I can see why he changed it. Newton. Yours is Terrence?
No, it's just Terry.
Terry, right. Okay. Thanks for your time.
Well, that's it?
Yeah. Take care.
Yeah, right.
To headquarters.
Headquarters 81.
This is Keller. I need a 1029 on the following subjects. Terry Stillwell, Stillwell, and a Newton Hunter, a.k.a. Skip Hunter. Also, could you check an alias on Hunter? Newton Harper, a.k.a. Skip Harper. Thank you.
Okay, but this is it. I mean it. We got John Dimes down here asking me questions, and that's not too cool for me, you know what I mean? And this is gonna cost you, too. Yeah, because my neck is already out there, that's why. Now, you add 2 big ones on top of what you already owe me and get it here tonight. And I don't want to put up with any more sessions like I just had. I'll tell you when later. You tell me where you want me now. Yeah, sure. Yeah, about 10, 12 minutes. I got you. You get that money together.
The Betrero. Driver, stop here. There it is. You know, I've never been back here before.
Here, I'll get it.
There were some good memories here, too, weren't there, Michael? I remember the first day Andy brought you home from school. I thought you were the greatest. Taking time to notice a kid's sister. Treating her like a grown-up, not a pest.
I didn't notice you until Andy showed me that snapshot.
What snapshot?
What, I never told you?
No.
It was during the war, when Andy and I were in the Pacific. Both of us scared stiff, not knowing what we were doing there. And then one day he took this picture from his pocket And it was a snapshot of your folks and you. It was taken right here on these steps. Do you remember it?
No.
No? Well, anyway, I asked him if I could have half of it, and he started to grin. It was the biggest grin I think I ever saw on his face. And he ripped it in half and gave me the part with you on it. I kept it until the time you sent me the one from Stanford in your cap and gown.
I wish you'd said something, Mike.
No, you didn't want to hear that.
Oh, you're wrong.
No.
No, I wish you had.
No. When I came home, I knew that you wanted to get away from here.
Oh, that's not true.
Yes, it is. It's true. You were always meant for Nob Hill. And you know what? I'll bet you the reason you didn't come back here is because you were afraid you wouldn't get out again. Isn't that right? Huh? I'll bet it is, isn't it? Come on, admit it.
You got out too, Mike.
Not too far.
Oh. Detective lieutenant, that's better than walking the beat, isn't it?
Not always.
I think we better get you back, Mike.
I got your 904. What's happening?
Somebody tried to hit Mrs. Marshall. I'll fill you in later. What about the other units? Are they
Mike,
here?
there aren't any other units.
What do you mean?
I don't know, there's some static at headquarters. Olson took off everybody we have.
Olson? What's his reason?
Mike, we don't know. It could have been reckless driving. So maybe somebody was high. We don't know.
Caldwell hire this driver?
Well, I suppose.
Unless somebody followed us from here, then he's the only one who knew where we were. Get a make, run him through R&I.
Right.
What about your luggage?
It was picked up at the airport.
Steve.
Yeah.
The luggage. Find it and find out who was with it.
Gotcha. May I have your driver's license, please?
Thank you.
I thought I made it clear that this place was off limits.
And I thought I made it clear I don't consider you the highest authority in this city, Lieutenant.
You're the one who got Olson to pull my men out of here.
I'll get him to pull you next.
Boyd, please. Michael is a friend of ours. He's just trying to help.
He's no friend of Fred's. Not with the publicity he's going to get with a murder investigation. I want to speak to you alone, Anne.
She's not going to be alone with anyone for a while.
Michael.
That's the way it's got to be until this thing is cleared up. Yes. Yeah, she's here. It's for you, Senator Bowman.
Hello? Oh, yes, Ralph. Well, thank you. That's very kind. Yes. Oh, this evening? Well, I'm not sure. Oh, certainly. Yes. Well, I'll see you this evening, then.
What was that about this evening?
Michael, you must stop this. I have to pick up the pieces and go on. That's what Fred would want. But I can't do it if you insist on treating me like a prisoner. You make everything seem like a never-ending nightmare. Michael, I want to be alone. Please. I need to be alone.
Let's see. No, they haven't come in yet, I guess, sir.
Are you sure she was on a 12 o'clock flight?
No, sir. We have a record of a checkout time this morning, but nothing on her return.
She checked out this morning?
Well, yes, sir. Mrs. Fred Marshall, 8 o'clock flight to L.A. Baggage left here at 6.
Now, wait a minute. You mean she was here last night, she left this morning, and then came back again?
Well, yes, sir. It's all right here.
How long was she here?
Just last night. We picked up her bags at 11 p.m. Pacific Airlines from Los Angeles. Logged in right here. Those jet setters, they really get around, don't they?
Yeah.
Steve, did you find the luggage?
It's not in yet. I'll have it inspected as soon as it gets here.
What about the driver?
R&I says no record. Look, hang on half a minute. We gotta ask you something. How is it you're so close with someone like Fred Marshall's wife in 8 seconds flat?
Try 8 years in the Potrero.
You're kidding.
Anna Slovatska. Her brother Andy was my best pal. He's buried somewhere in the Pacific.
Well, I guess she must mean something special to you.
Right now, I want to talk to Olson.
No, I'm not telling you to pull back. Just stay cool until you hit something solid.
Look, I'm not making any charges. But I can't look the other way when there are 3 men who are anxious to have this swept under the rug. And a woman who could be the next target just because of what she knows about them.
Well, she doesn't seem too worried. She called just before you got here. Said she didn't want any more protection, no matter what you thought.
Rudy, listen to me. It's because she still thinks that her husband killed himself.
And you can't prove anything else.
Excuse me, Captain. I think we can now.
Coroner's report?
Yeah. Also, I found something interesting on Boyd Caldwell. Went to the Hastings School of Law right here in the city. Look who paid for his education.
Bradshaw Shipyards.
Caldwell worked for Bradshaw as an undergraduate. And to pay off the scholarship, he spent 5 years on the legal staff.
And he's still paying him back. He's the one who put Bradshaw in with Marshall.
It looks that way, yeah?
It looks like murder to the coroner, too. Now, there were no sling welts on the person of the deceased, which would have been the case in the event of a self-inflicted wound. The penetration of the spear in the body of the deceased indicates that it was fired from a distance of at least 5 feet. Now, from the position of the body, this would mean the gun was fired from outside the boat.
Come in, Lee, come in.
Steve?
Yeah.
That mech you asked for and those 2 guys that work for Bradshaw?
Uh-huh.
Looks like you might have something, Mike.
That's it? It's the missing link? You know that guy I told you about, Hunter? That's not his real name. It's Harper, like it said in the toolbox. Wanted Miami, 2 counts of assault. 1 with intent to commit murder.
Bradshaw and Caldwell. Marshall was the witness. They wanted him out of the way. So they give this guy a bonus for a little overtime.
Okay, save it. Hunter?
Inspector? What can we do for you?
You can take a ride with us.
What for?
For having 2 names.
All right, you hold it right there.
How long will that thing keep him down?
No time. It's empty. Look, man, I don't know anything more. I swear I don't. I didn't even know he was going to kill anybody until it was all over with, and then it was too late. I mean, it was over with then, right?
It's not over. Who paid for the killing, Bradshaw?
I don't know. Skip never told me.
Okay, book him.
Hey, wait a minute. Look, there are a couple things I know. If I tell you, will you believe me that I didn't know anything about the killing?
Let's find out.
Well, Skip said that he told whoever it is that he wanted out now, tonight, and he was going to meet him and pick up whatever it is they promised to pay him. But I don't know who, only where.
Where?
China Basin. He was going to take the boat at midnight. Okay, man, I told you about that. Now, you got to believe me about the rest. You gotta!
The jury has to believe you, son. Take him downtown. Let's go.
Buy that?
Well, the kid has no reason to be lying now. Sure puts a lot of kinks into it, though, doesn't it?
Something else I was thinking about. Hunter works for Bradshaw. There's no reason for them to meet in the China Basin in the middle of the night.
You're right. Could be Caldwell.
Or Bowen. But how would he have known Hunter?
Well, maybe we'll get all the answers tonight.
You know, Mike, there's one other kink we gotta work out.
What's that?
Did Ann Marshall happen to tell you where she was this morning?
Annie? Well, she came in on the plane from L.A. at noon.
I know, but the hotel records say that she was in the suite last night, too.
Are you sure?
I double-checked it, Mike. I called the airlines, and they confirmed that an Ann Marshall was on the 11 o'clock flight from L.A. last night, and that someone fitting her description was on the 8 o'clock from SFO this morning.
Well, it doesn't make any sense. What would she be hopping back and forth for? And what has she got to cover up?
I couldn't figure it out either. But it does put her here in town when her husband got it. Now, if you want, I'll arrange things for tonight if you want to talk to her in private.
All right. I lied.
Why?
Because I didn't know what to do. I wanted so much to protect Fred's name and his image. And I saw how determined you were to prove that he was murdered. I felt I had to protect myself.
Did you think that I would suspect you of killing your husband?
I think you would suspect anyone of anything, Michael. Your whole life seems to be made up of suspicions and accusations.
Would I have any reason to suspect you?
I think you'd find reason if you dug deep enough. And I knew you'd dig deeper if you found out I was here when Fred died.
You told me that you had talked to your husband and that he had been drinking heavily. Is that true?
No. I sat here, and I waited for him, but he didn't come back. It wasn't the first time. So I caught a plane back to Los Angeles. I didn't want one of those early morning scenes ever again. And there was a message from Boyd waiting for me. When I got back to my friend's home, you can check it out with them. Their name is Banks. Dr. and Mrs. Paul Banks.
Thanks, Anna.
What for?
Well, the coroner's report had your husband with a normal level of alcohol in his blood when he died.
Michael, what does that prove? That I finally told the truth? Maybe it means that I'm just being clever. Clever enough not to lie about something that I couldn't be sure of. Well, Michael, I'd appreciate it if you left now. I have an engagement tonight with Senator Bowen.
Oh, sure. I'll see you tomorrow.
No, I don't think so. Senator Bowen has arranged for me to leave tomorrow. With or without your permission.
know, Mrs. Marshall. Give me the gun.
How did you know? We didn't. Just knew that Hunter was gonna meet someone here. You really would have used this on him, huh?
Yes.
That attempt on your life, you staged that.
I left Mike to make the phone call the second I knew he couldn't change his mind.
And you figured if Mike thought you were a target, he'd never consider you a suspect, right?
I didn't think Fred's death would be investigated in the first place if it looked like an accident. Then, when you did investigate, I tried to suggest suicide, but nothing would stop you. You know, Mike, I underestimated you.
But why your husband?
You wouldn't understand.
Why should you pay the rest of your life for his mistake? Isn't that it? You couldn't divorce him. That would be desertion. That would be the wrong kind of image. But a widow, then you could start all over again. Find somebody else to keep you where you have to be.
Don't you judge me. Don't you dare judge me.
Listen, I tell you, I found a new place. It's over on Polk. Pizzas. Fantastic. Also got the largest beer mugs you ever seen. Want to give it a try after I drop the boat off?
My old man used to come in every night, sit at the edge of my bed, but he'd say, every night when the day is over, take a look at yourself. Inside yourself. See what happened. Take a look at the good things and the bad things, especially the bad things, the mistakes. And tomorrow, when the sun comes up, you'll be a smarter man. A lot smarter. Hit me tomorrow, will you, buddy boy? Please.
Yeah, let's go. Police, open up!
Hi, honey. Looking for a little action?
Nothing.
Call an ambulance?
Too late. She OD'd. She's just a kid. Spread 'em.
Clean, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You clean, huh? You want to tell that to the kid upstairs?
What kid? What are you talking about?
Only one more corpse. Hardly counts, right?
Hey, I don't know nothing about no stuff.
You garbage. Maybe this will help you remember.
Eddie. Hey, Bugs, cut it out. What are you, crazy, man?
Eddie!
Stop that, you hoodlums! I'll call the cops!
Go back to bed, lady! We are the police! He's only faking. Get up, Spider.
Faking? Eddie, you're lucky he's still breathing. I swear, Eddie, I don't know what's getting into you.
You want to know what? I'll tell you. There's a dead kid laying in a room up there. Scum like this goes scot-free. Besides, he pulled a knife on me, didn't he?
I didn't see no knife.
Yeah.
Are you crazy, Eddie? Why snowflake the guy?
I got my reasons. On your feet, punk.
All yours. They both look the same.
Exactly. The one is pure uncut heroin from our property department. The other is the residue from the hypodermic syringe used by or on the dead girl.
Then she just didn't OD. Whoever gave it to her is guilty of murder.
That's why we called you in, Lieutenant.
Her name was Amanda Cully. She just passed her 15th birthday.
Amanda Cully, 15. Thanks, Doc.
Thank you.
I want the arrest reports, and I want the yellow sheet on Emilio Spider Gonzalez.
Okay. Can you figure why anyone would want to give a girl like that uncut heroin?
What you're really asking is, why would anyone want to kill a 15-year-old child?
I got an anonymous tip a buy was going down, so we staked it out. We proceeded to the third floor, apartment 3B, getting no response to our knock. We kicked the door in.
Did you have a warrant?
We're on the graveyard shift, Lieutenant. You ever try to wake a judge at that hour? Anyway, this all happened within an hour, a half hour at the time we got the tip.
Well, according to the yellow sheet here, he's been clean for the past 3 years.
Just means he hasn't been caught in 3 years. We all know he's a pusher.
Could be. But as far as we know, he's strictly nonviolent. He's never been charged with carrying weapons.
Yeah? Well, maybe that wasn't a shiv that he pulled on me. Maybe he was just offering me a lollipop. Tell him, Stan.
The suspect drew a switchblade, sir.
How come you're on this case, Lieutenant? They switched you over to narco?
No. The charge against Gonzalez has been upped to murder. The stuff that killed that girl, 100% pure heroin.
No wonder he pulled a knife.
Captain Devitt called. Spider's been released on $10,000 bail.
What? 10 grand on a murder charge? Hey, what's going on here?
Come on, let's find out. We'll see you later.
Uncut H. Looks like our troubles are over, my man.
They shouldn't have started. Okay, you had provocation, but you lost your temper, so tell him. You didn't have to flake the guy, Eddie.
That's easy for you to say. You don't have a pension coming up in 4 months.
Wouldn't be risking a thing. Most they'll do is slap you on the wrist.
What's really eating you, pal?
I'm getting sick and tired of lying for you, pal.
Then don't. Tell him whatever you want.
You're dumb.
Okay. That was dumb. You wouldn't think on your partner.
Gotta get rid of this. Excuse me. Come in.
Listen, Captain, Oh, excuse me.
Yes, Mike.
I'm sorry, but, Captain, about a half hour ago, I started work on a homicide, the Amanda Cully case. Before I could turn around, the suspect is out on a $10,000 bail. Now, where did the push come from? The DA's office or here?
Here. Lay it out from John.
Yeah, I asked the DA to recommend low bail for Gonzalez. As head of narcotics, I had my reasons.
Do you mind letting me in on it?
Not at all. As a matter of fact, they have to do with your so-called prime suspect. And we've all dealt with stoolies before. But never in my experience have I come across a guy, an informant, as valuable and dedicated as Spider Gonzalez.
What turns him on?
I think the first thing that turned him on was when his younger brother OD'd about 4 years ago. Since that time, he's been a one-man guerrilla army. Can I tell you the guy has performed better than any guy in my squad? Better than any undercover narc.
Captain, I think you have a problem.
Okay. Tell me about it.
Well, if your own head of narco is so high on Gonzalez, how does it square with the arresting officer's report that Gonzalez drew a knife on him?
It doesn't square.
Oh, you have a theory?
Yes, I have a theory. I think Inspector Boggs is a damn liar. That's my theory.
And what about the knife? Where did that come from?
Gonzalez says Boggs planted it on him.
You believe Gonzalez?
I do.
How about you, Captain?
Well, that's my dilemma, Mike. I have to make a decision about Boggs. To do it, I need more information. To get that, I have to break this homicide. And that is your job.
My job.
That's right.
All right. Was Gonzalez in that girl's pad or not? Look, you don't have to get permission from him to talk to me. Homicide takes precedence over everything, including narcotics.
He's right. Give him everything.
It was there.
Doing what?
For the last few months, Gonzalez has been trying to make a contact with a major dealer. We don't know his name. He goes by the Tucson Connection. He's been responsible for over half the drug traffic in this area. So we finally set up a meet for this morning. We get the word that the guy's flying in. Only the meet never comes off because Boggs barges in on a tip of his own and blows it.
Why didn't Spider tell Boggs the truth when they caught up with him?
Because Spider was under orders from me not to tell anyone.
Well, I don't care what anybody said. I want to talk to him.
Sure. May take a couple of days for him to surface.
Look, a homicide is difficult enough to deal with. But I never thought I'd see the day when the waters would be muddied by the department itself.
Not by the department, Lieutenant. By one cop named Boggs.
If you happen to think of anything, please give us a call. Thank you.
That's 0 for 11. It's getting discouraging.
Yeah, well, if Spider didn't kill her, then somebody else did. Come on, let's keep plugging.
Not again. I just got out.
Okay, lady, relax. We're not vice. Is it all right if we come in?
Huh. Why should you be an exception?
You
You see any strange-looking characters hanging around last night?
Nah, I was out late. Wait a minute. There was somebody, a guy, just as I was coming in. I think he came out of the building.
Go on.
Well, it was a cowboy type. You know, boots, denim pants, big hat. He didn't belong around here.
Well, do you think you can remember enough so that the police artist could draw a sketch?
I could try.
Good. We'd thank you if you could. Well, why don't you take her downtown? When the sketch is finished, you telephoto it to the Tucson police for a possible ID.
Do you think maybe you could put in a good word for me with Inspector Jenkins? He's in Vice.
Well, I tell you what. You get yourself dressed and I'll mention it.
I don't know what's so special about a fracas out the alley. It happens all the time.
Well, this one's very important. Early this morning, are you sure you didn't hear or see something down there?
Well, I heard some yelling. Cut it out, Bob. Or Todd, something like that.
Could it have been Boggs?
Boggs. B-O-G-G-S?
That's right.
Maybe. It sounded like that.
Is there anyone else living in this apartment who might have seen or heard something?
No, I'm a widow. I live alone.
Mrs. Doyle, it all happened right here out of your window. Are you sure you didn't see something?
All I heard was some noise. I was scared to look outdoors. You know how it is, a woman living alone?
Yes, I sure do. Well, if you happen to think of anything, I'll be grateful if you gave me a call.
You make it sound serious.
It is serious. Very serious.
You got anything special for dinner?
Whatever you make will be fine, sweetheart.
So what is it, Eddie?
What's what?
Got something on your mind? Shouldn't keep things from me.
Gracie, the only thing that is on this mind right here is that I am happy I joined the force when I did, because in 4 months I'm going to have been 20 years, and then it's going to be an early retirement and a pension, and it's you and me and a lot of traveling around.
Oh, you know how much I've been thinking about this.
You don't have to tell me, sweetheart.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Gracie.
This is going to the market. You save for supper?
Thanks, some other time.
Okay. See you.
Well, you sure dug a hole for us this time, partner.
What's eating you? Come on, relax, will you? Have a beer?
I'll tell you what's eating me. Spider's clean as a whistle. She's Hanley Stooley.
Where'd you hear that?
From a gal I know in the DA's office. That's why he got such low bail. He's been working for narco for 4 years. Oh, come on, Eddie. It's not too late. Tell him the truth.
What do you mean, tell him that we flaked upon?
Yeah.
Listen, it's not just a question of me losing my pension. We can both go to the slam.
Well, what are we gonna do, Eddie?
We're gonna hang tough. That's what we're gonna do. Till I figure out what our next move is.
Here. I don't think I could drink it now.
Okay, this is the...
Spider, I want a word with you.
Hey, what do you come bothering me for? Can't you see I'm playing a game, man?
No shooter here, no shooter. Come on, it's only gonna take a minute. Let's go.
Get your hands.
Come on.
I don't know what's wrong with you.
Listen, I got a proposition to make to you. Could do us both some good. All you gotta do is admit that you pulled a knife.
Admit?
You had a good reason, see? It was dark in that alley. You couldn't see who it was, so you're trying to defend yourself. It's only natural.
Why should I get you off the hook? What?
I made a mistake, okay?
You sure did.
Look, I'm willing to pay for it. It's worth 5 bills, friend. 5 big ones.
Man, you beat the hell out of me. You almost wiped me out. Now you think that you can square it away just by offering me 5 bills?
That's all that I got.
I don't care, it's $5,000, man. You're on the griddle, Bugs. On the griddle.
You scum garbage! I should have snuffed you when I had a chance, but I can still do it, punk.
Go ahead.
Remember that, okay?
Hey, guys. This man's threatening to ice me. Now, don't forget where you heard it, huh? Go ahead. Do it.
Stone.
Look, we checked your story. Found 4 witnesses, and nobody heard of the bribe attempt.
I told you that that's way, way back then.
Relax, relax. They all corroborate the threat.
But it's guys like Bugs that give the police a bad name, you know.
I'll take care of Boggs with the department later. Right now, I want to talk to you about murder.
Well, go ahead.
What was your relationship with Amanda Cully?
Well, she was a friend. She was one of 5 kids that I've been working with, you know. They all on the nod, trying to getting off of it.
I can vouch for that, Lieutenant.
Yeah, I was doing pretty well with her. I mean, I put her in a methadone program, everything.
She didn't die from that. Junkies have been known to backslide.
Not her, no. And don't ask me about the OD. I mean, I can't explain it. Somebody must have zapped her.
Tell me, why did you use her pad for the connection?
I figured it'd be the safest.
Get over there. All right, what are you looking at? Beat it. Okay. Listen, you know that the coroner's report said that she had a bruise on her chin. They assumed that she got it from falling down. Maybe she was slugged.
And gave her the drug after she was unconscious.
Yeah, and whoever did it probably figured out that she was working for you. Maybe your cover was blown.
I don't see how. Nobody knows about my police work.
You could be wrong. You may have enemies.
Only one, Eddie Boggs.
All right, stay in touch.
This suspension is temporary pending the outcome of Lieutenant Stone's investigation. That's all.
Mike?
You and your investigation.
Well, what about it?
20 years I've been busting my hump for the department. The only time I ever took off, I was laying in a hospital. They were picking slugs out of my hide. And for what? So some Johnny-come-lately with a college degree can work it out, so I have to turn in my badge and my gun.
Gonzalez made some accusations. I checked them out. 4 people heard you threaten him.
Okay. You say a lot of things when you're hot. Do you think that I would be stupid enough to kill that punk? anybody?
I only said Captain Devitt had good grounds for the suspension.
So the upshot is the punk gets to carry a gun and I don't. If he decides to take a pot shot at me, I don't have a gun to defend myself.
Gonzalez is hiding out. He's not going to kill anybody.
You want to know what I think? Hanley is doing this to rob me of my pension.
Can I tell you what I think? I don't think you're helping your case any by making ridiculous statements.
Well, you want to know what's ridiculous? Lieutenant Hanley goes to law school at night. Yeah, he's very strong on the rights of the suspects. Well, what about the rights of cops, huh?
Just might have a point.
Maybe. Now, we're working on a homicide. Telex come in yet?
I'll check.
Some dame's been calling you. Twice. Name's Emma Doyle.
Yeah? What is an Emma Doyle?
Jokes, huh?
Oh, relax, Stan, will you? Huh? And we don't have to take any squeal. We're off duty, remember? Nice short vacation, feel good, huh?
Could be a long vacation.
Yeah, that too. When I retire, 4 months.
What's that for?
What's the matter? You know I keep a second kind.
I know that. What are you going to do with it?
Well, I don't know. Hey, could come in handy, couldn't it? You know? Maybe I run into old Spider out there on the street, throw a little skeeter right in.
Eddie, you try anything crazy like that, and you're on your own. I mean it.
What are you talking about? Take it easy, will you? Come on. Hey.
Hey. Heard your characters drew a suspension.
Good news. Travels fast.
Yeah? Well, I just want you to know. Boys back in the squad room are all behind you. I mean, anything at all we can do. Anything.
Hey, now that you mention it, you know I did you a little favor one time? Remember the time when I nailed Martucci? And let you take credit for the calling?
You don't have to remind me. I owe you.
You know, I think there is one little thing you could do.
Name it, name it.
Michael, telex from Tucson just came in.
So?
So they can't be positive, but the sketch we telephotoed looks like somebody named Boot Wilson. He's a big wheel in a local drug syndicate. He's also known to dress cowboy style.
Yes.
Excuse me, Lieutenant Stone. I'm Inspector Davis, narco.
What can I do for you, Davis?
Well, it has to do with Spider Gonzalez. A piece of information you might be interested in.
Yes, go on.
Well, I tried to hang a collar on him 5 years ago, and he pulled a switchblade knife on me. I didn't report it at the time because he got away and I didn't want to look bad.
Well, you understand, don't you, that you're laying yourself open for disciplinary action?
Yes, sir, but I figure Boggs is in worse trouble, and I felt it was my duty to step forward. I just wanted you to know that Gonzalez has been known to carry a knife.
I see. Okay. I'll pass the word.
Thank you, sir.
Sad. Oh, that's sad. Do you know what that is? That's called departmental cover-up.
You could be telling the truth.
No, no way at all. What else is on that telex?
Well, Wilson dropped out of sight about a month ago. Hasn't been seen since.
Well, according to our information, the Arizona contact flew in. Why don't you call the airlines, all flights from Tucson?
He probably wouldn't use his real name if he booked a flight.
Well, it's worth a try, isn't it? And while you're at it, call up the Tucson police. I want the book on Wilson. I want his fingerprints, mug shots. I want the works.
Where you going?
Well, I'm worried about Boggs. I want to talk to him, see if I can't settle him down a bit.
Yeah, you could use a little Dutch uncle.
Mrs. Boggs, I'm Lieutenant Stone, San Francisco Police.
Oh. Come in, please.
Thank you. I'd like to talk to Eddie.
Well, he's not here.
Well, when will he be back?
Late?
How late?
I don't know. He said he's working a stakeout.
Well, how long ago did he leave?
10, maybe 15 minutes ago. He came in, he made a lot of phone calls, and he left. Lieutenant, is something wrong?
Well, it's important that I get in touch with him. By any chance, did you happen to hear who he called?
The friends with the funny names, it's Gimpy or Feevesy or something.
Well, when he gets back, would you have him get in touch with me?
Lieutenant, is Eddie hasn't done anything wrong, has he?
I hope not. I sincerely hope he hasn't.
There you go, Charlie.
Hanley, you happen to know where Gonzalez is hiding out?
I might. Why?
Well, Boggs is making a lot of phone calls to stoolies. He's looking for him.
Uh-huh. So?
So I think you ought to alert Gonzalez. I think you ought to give him some discreet protection.
I can't do that, Stone. We're much too close to the Tucson connection. I don't want to blow it now.
Spider can't be hiding out and working for you at the same time.
That's precisely what he is doing. Now, his friends know how to get in touch with him. He's making all the right moves. But if that guy from Tucson even catches a hint of a cop, it's all over.
Look, Boggs is in a very irrational state of mind. What if he gets the Spider first?
He won't.
Well, don't kid yourself. Boggs knows his way around.
All right, it's one of the risks we have to take. It's the only way we can beat this dirty game.
All right, then. You can risk your own life if you like. But I don't think neither you nor I have a right to put somebody else's head on the block.
It's unavoidable. We're dealing with animals.
No, that doesn't mean we have to become animals.
Hey, Gimp. Over here.
Well, I saw Spider. He's got the bread.
Good, then we can make the deal.
Yeah, but you gotta move careful. The smell's in the streets.
Where is Spider?
I don't know. Under wraps somewhere, I guess. He said the place you picked was okay for the meat, though.
All right. Okay, my man.
Did you see him? How does he look?
No good. No good, Spider. I think you're blown.
Well, why do you say that?
I just got a hunch.
Were you followed?
I don't think so, but Boggs phoned me. He's looking for you, too. Hey, wait a minute. You know how to use this thing.
Well, if I have to. Thanks.
Hey, don't use the front door, huh?
I haven't used the front door in years. Boggs? Boggs?
Whose gun's being tested?
It's his.
I heard all we know so far is that Spider was killed by a snub-nosed 32. You own one, Mr. Boggs?
Yeah, you got the message. There's no question in my mind who was responsible for Gonzalez's death.
Oh, now, wait a minute. A lot of people could be responsible.
It's not the same gun.
Are you sure?
The barrel markings are completely different. See for yourself.
Well, it looks like you're off the hook, Boggs.
You give me too much credit, Lieutenant. How's a dumb cop like me gonna find Spider after you stashed him away?
Where were you last night?
Bowling?
Check it out.
Okay. I wasn't bowling. I was just wandering around having a few. Everybody's so against me, I feel like I gotta make up alibis.
Not if you didn't do anything.
You think so? You're wrong, Lieutenant. See, a crook has to be proven guilty. But because I'm a cop, the burden is on me to prove my innocence. And that's equal justice. You through with that? That's personal property.
You're still on suspension. Why don't you just put it away?
It's me. I'll tell you what took so long. A few complications. All straightened out. Look, I told you. Every door's been slammed shut and locked. I'll be back today.
Comfortable?
Very.
You mind?
Oh, yeah, Mike. The report from Tucson. Our boy Boot seems to have had a very colorful career. In fact, among other interesting items, it says here that he owns and operates his own private airplane.
No wonder we struck out with the airlines.
He could have flown here solo.
And I'll bet he's about ready to fly out. Why don't you call all the private airstrips and make sure they have photos of Wilson?
And the description.
And the description.
What are you grousing around for? We're in the clear. With Spider gone, they got no case. Me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are you kidding? Listen, ballistics checked my gun.
Oh, don't con me, Eddie, huh? You can have an old arsenal stashed away.
'Cause I am not crying a bucket of tears over this guy. Oh, I'm glad the punk got it. That don't mean I did it. Hey, look who's here. Come in, please, lady. Come on. Here. Let me help you with those groceries. Come here.
Hey!
Hold on. You're almost there. You okay?
Yeah, don't you guys work anymore?
No. We got time off for good behavior. Come on, Stan, drink up, will you?
Oh, there was some woman who called you, Emma Doyle.
Who?
That's the same dame called you at the office.
What's she doing calling me here? She leave a number or something?
No, she said she'd call you back.
Well, come here, honey. Join us, will you? Come on and have one. This is a celebration.
Clear for takeoff.
Okay, try to keep him from taking off. I know it's difficult, but do the best you can. We're on our way. Come on, TriStar Airport.
TriStar Tower, this is 6725. X-ray, west tie down, taxi for takeoff. Check your left engine. It seems to be smoking. Okay to me. All right, 25 X-ray, you can move out, but hold short of runway 32 right. Suggest you check your engine on run-up. 25 X-ray out. X-ray, port engine okay, holding on runway 32 right. Hold your position, 25 X-ray. Inbound traffic, long final.
Twin-engine plane number 6725, X-ray. I repeat, this is Inspectors 8-1 to all units within the vicinity of TriStar Airport.
25 X-ray, ready for takeoff. Hold your position, 25 X-ray. Plane in distress. Attention all aircraft. Keep runway clear for emergency landing. 25 X-ray, ready for takeoff. 25 X-ray, taxi into position and hold.
Emma Doyle?
That's right. Come on in, Mr. Boggs.
You wanted to see me about something?
Mm-hmm. Take a look out that window.
Right over there.
That's right.
What's this about?
Don't see anything now. But you did early Friday morning. Very early. About 6 o'clock.
You mind telling me exactly what this is all about?
Well, you beat up a man in that alley. I yelled down for you to stop.
I'm a cop. He was a dope pusher.
I know that. But he's dead now. I read it in the papers. So that means that I'm the only one that knows what happened outside of your partner.
What happened?
Why, you took a knife out of your pocket and you put it right in his hand. Oh, there was another cop here asking about it, Lieutenant Stone. I didn't tell him anything. Yet. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that a big, tough cop like you could just knock off a defenseless woman. Maybe even put a knife in my hand. That wouldn't be too smart because of that Lieutenant Stone. Now, I don't think he believed me. He asked me to call him back. So if anything should happen to me, I just get the feeling that he'd put 2 and 2 together.
How much?
$10,000. Now, if you want to know, I think that's a real bargain.
What's so important you roused me at the crack of dawn?
Come on.
Huh?
Come on. I'm getting blackmailed.
Who?
Emma Doyle. She's the old biddy that yelled out the window while I was beating Spider.
How much did she see?
Everything.
Oh,
She wants 10,000. Hey, listen, you got any money?
Eddie, you're really flipping. Where am I gonna get that kind of bread?
I just need 500. I got 5 bills myself. I mean, I think $1,000 will do it.
Well, if you give her a token payment now, it'll all lead to more blackmail.
Who's talking about paying?
What are you talking about?
I got a friend who's an enforcer, owes me a favor. I mean, a G will take care of it.
Eddie, you're really flipping. You're getting me scared, Eddie.
I'm not talking about having her blown away. Well, a guy, you know, he's going to rough her up a little, scare her, get her to shut up.
Look, if you see me on the street, don't say hello, huh? I mean, I don't know you, you don't know me, all right?
No, that figures. A crummy blackmailer. She's important, isn't she, huh? Human garbage like Spider Gonzalez, she's important, too. Only a dumb cop like Eddie Boggs, he don't count. You wanna know why he doesn't count? Because he never took a dime from anyone. He was never on the pad. He never made any deals. The only thing he ever got for himself was his belly full of lead, not once, but twice. And that's not to mention the minor scratches and the nicks and the bruises a cop is supposed to get, huh? I mean, a crook loses respect if he doesn't slice up a pig every once in a while. A pig, no, he's not supposed to touch nobody. No, sir. No, sir. Your pig is supposed to stand around on your street corner and say, oink, oink, in here, huh? Like a little piggy. Piggy, piggy, oink, 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 oink. Get a hold of yourself. Wise up, will you? Will you wise up? Yes, I'll give you a few more years. But wait a minute, till retirement time comes around, man, they jerk the rug right up from under you.
Let me take you home, man. Come on, let me take
Stay
you
away
home.
from me,
Let me
partner.
Come on.
You don't want to know me? I don't want to know you. No, sir.
Let me take you home.
No, the hell with all of you. You think I'm a murderer?
No.
Right, sure.
No.
So what do I need to hire a ginzo for? I can do my own dirty work, couldn't I? See you around, pal. So long.
Eddie, please.
Ballistics confirms that Wilson's gun killed Spider. My guess is that Spider's cover was blown. Amanda must have said something.
So he killed her.
And he would have killed Spider, too, if Boggs and Michaels hadn't gone in there and scared him off.
It's ironic, isn't it? I think Boggs probably saved his life. But I still think he attacked Spider, and I still think he planted that knife on him.
The point is, you can't prove that. And on the other side, there's Boggs' record. 20 years of outstanding service with the force. We've landed the Tucson connection. Why not be satisfied with that? As far as I'm concerned, the departmental charges against Boggs ought to be dropped. Man suffered enough. I'm for closing the case.
Your decision, Captain.
Hello, Captain Devitt. Just a minute. Mike, this is Stan Michaels. He wants to talk to you. He says it's urgent.
Yes, Stone.
It's about Eddie, Lieutenant. I really think he's gone off the deep end. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, where are you now? All right, stay there. We'll pick you up. We're on our way. Sorry, Captain. This is urgent.
Okay.
Really urgent.
Okay.
Hello, Emma. You all alone?
Yeah.
Good. I want to talk to you.
All right.
There's an old Chinese saying about wise men never find a dead body. You ever hear that one? Well, it means witnesses can get into a lot of trouble. Sometimes people see too much. It's like you the other day. You saw me out there. You saw me beat up a guy, didn't you? Saw me put a knife in his hand. But what you didn't see was a 15-year-old kid that was laying dead in an apartment over there.
Are you telling me this?
I want you to understand, that's all. You know, I think you should realize that Eddie Boggs, he isn't such a bad guy after all. He just hates pushers. He hates all kinds of crooks. And blackmailers. You know what I'm getting at, Emma? Well, good, then you'll understand what I gotta do here.
Just forget the whole thing. You just keep the money.
You're a greedy lady, Emma. I mean, you could change your mind, huh? So I can't take that chance, that's all.
Eddie.
You faked on me, man.
Oh, no, partner.
You faked on your partner.
Oh, no, Eddie. I would.
Oh, no.
We were going to do a lot of traveling, do all the things that we always wanted to do. I knew Eddie was in trouble, Lieutenant. I just didn't know it was that bad. Eddie wasn't bad.
We all make mistakes, Mrs. Boggs, but he was a good cop. Brave, devoted to his work. You keep those memories of him alive. All he had to do was tell the truth. Instead, he lied, and one lie led to another.
All his buddies swore by him. Only a handful came to the funeral.
20 years down the drain. Eddie, you held the department's highest award, the Medal of Honor. Now all they'll remember is